Clap loud.
Well, thank you very much. David's in tune. Go first.
Oh, okay. Sean, meet Havila and her family. They're nice people. All right. Well, I'm gonna. What Ken and I decided to do, we played together last week down in Colorado where I live, so we decided we'd do this up here a little differently because that was his gig, and I was just kind of noodling around on the guitar while he played his songs. So we're gonna swap back and forth. I'll do a couple, he'll do a couple, and does that sound okay to everybody? They're very compliant.
No.
So far they're very compliant.
Spoken like a true banjo player.
They always have to be contrarian. This is a song I wrote. I was inspired by a fellow who's no longer with us there on Main Street in Cedar Edge, Colorado. His name was Jody. Used to see Jody at the coffee shop, and he was a cobbler. He and his wife fixed shoes and belts and saddles and guitar straps. One day I go in the coffee shop and I said, "Jody, how you doing?" He said, "Another day, another shot at mercy." I said, "Jody, I'm going to have to borrow that." He said, "That's all right." It's called Night Rolls Around. Another day, another shot at mercy. One more chance to get it right. So many questions when the answers are few. So many people looking for the light. But the sun's still shining outside. Well, I'm still along for the ride. And if I play my cards right, I'll be here when the night rolls around. One more heartbreak, one more promise gone. It's just another round in the fight. There's only so much of me to go around, and everybody wants a bite. But the sun's still shining outside. Well, I'm still along for the ride. And if I play my cards right, I'll be here when the night rolls around. Well, it's a frozen moment on a tightrope walk. We try to hold on to what we can, but the planet shakes and rain falls down as we navigate these ever-shifting sands. So you cast a shadow, you make some noise, try to make your mark in this world. Better break some rules if the rules don't seem right, but do not go quietly with your flag unfurled, because the sun's still shining outside. You're still along for the ride. If you play your cards right, you'll be here when the night rolls around. Yeah, yeah. If you play your cards right, you'll be here when the night rolls around. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. When the night rolls around. Thank you. Y'all are very nice. We'd expect that, though. We know you now. We're friends now. So I'm going to take some money out of my pocket, but I'm not showing off. It's just holding my guitar up. It's
Money's holding your guitar.
well, it's right there, and then
it's
it's
in the wrong spot. Gotcha.
Yeah, okay. It's not a lot of money. It's almost $100 though.
That's all it takes.
$100. So we'll do one more here that sort of had its beginnings on Main Street in Cedar Edge, Colorado. I would ask how many people know where Cedar Edge is, but 1, 2. I told you where it is. You can raise your hand. Okay, yeah. So there's a fellow there who's an attorney named Larry the attorney, and Larry will come down to my guitar shop that I run, and he would occasionally ask over the years, "Can you come down and witness a will?" And because he doesn't have a big staff, you got to have a witness for these things, right? And oftentimes it was somebody who needed a will, and the kids were wheeling them in there to get the will because they were going to need it shortly, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so I always met new people by witnessing their will. One day he came down to my shop, and it was a very, very bad day to do this because the streets were all torn up. They were redoing the whole downtown area, and business had not been good. But that one day I had a lot of people in my shop. Larry came down and said, "Can you come down and witness a will, man?" I said, "Really can't. I got all these people in the shop. I can't leave them here." And he said, "Well, it's getting hard to find a witness on Main Street." And I said, "See ya." And I went and wrote that down. And I gave that to my good friend Dana Cooper. We all know Dana. And he took the wheel on that one, and we wrote this song together. It's kind of about small town. If you drive around enough in this country, you'll see a lot of small towns nobody paid attention to, and they kind of blow away. A lot of that out in West Texas, New Mexico. It's called Hard to Find a Witness. Well, it's hard to find a witness on Main Street anymore, where the old ones laid to rest and the young ones gone to war. It's enough to make you wonder what we're fighting for, when we're closing down the schools and the old grocery stores, but the liquor store's still open and a lawyer does his best. And most of us keep hoping that we'll earn our day of rest. Sometimes at night I wonder what I'm working for. I'm not asking for it all, I just need a little more. It's hard to find a witness on Main Street anymore. It's hard to find a witness down on Main Street anymore. But I love this little town. Don't wanna watch her falling down. Well, in a world so full of strangers, I want to know my neighbor's name. And as much as we're all different, I'd like to think we're all the same. Sometimes I wonder what it is we're waiting for. Could it be this broken promise is an open door? It's hard to find a witness on Main Street anymore. It's hard to find a witness down on Main Street anymore. It's hard to find Thank you.
And that's my buddy David Starr.
And this would be Ken Gaines. But I feel like we all know each other now, so. Got new strings.
Yeah, I do.
So happy.
The gig we played together this past weekend, my strings sounded decent to begin with, but oh man, about 5 songs in, they were just
There's like
dead.
a bell curve, and once you're on the other side of it, it just.
This old guitar gripes at me all the time, though. So, and I've put it through a lot, especially in the past year or so, moving it around in vastly different climates. There's a song about fences. Southeastern Arizona is a hard and barren world. When you're 21, married young, 2 little baby girls, he took a job right out of high school, building fences on the range. Now he's fenced in by the debts he owes, things he cannot change. Wife still tries to love him, but the ties that bind her thin. From too many nights she spent all alone, too many fences to mend. And the wind blows in a song of the dreams that linger still. All the things you should have done, all the things you never will. Faced with empty spaces between now and where you're going. Dream at night of flying on the wind over all those miles of fences out where you can start again. Was a girl that came from Tucson to visit an old friend. They stayed out nights and watched the stars, listened to the wind. And one April night, after making love in the backseat of her car, they wrote a song to celebrate on a beat-up box guitar. They sang "The Wind Blows In from Tucson" from March till the end of May. Sometimes you face the task at hand, sometimes you fly away. She told him he was born to roam, their love would never end. Then she left him when the wind died down, never heard from her again. Of the dreams that linger still, all the things you should have done, all the things you never will. When you're faced with empty spaces between now and where you're going. Every now and then he gets his hunger in his breast, sits out on the highway with a one-way ticket west. But looking down that road, he sees those fences never end. Slowly walks back into town to cash that ticket in, and he buys himself a six-pack, climbs the highest hill in town, and sings softly to himself as the sun is going down. He sings "The wind blows in from Tucson, from March to the end of May. Sometimes you face the task at hand, or sometimes you fly away. The wind blows in a song of the dreams that linger still, all the things you should have done, all the things you never will. When you're faced with empty spaces between now and where you'll go, at night of flying on the wind, over all those miles of fences, out where you can start again. And the wind blows in from Tucson. Just like we rehearsed it. David Starr. He's probably never heard that song before.
I have not ever heard that song.
So David can do that sort of thing, and I enjoy it, and I can't.
I have
So
no
you won't
fingernails.
enjoy it.
I'm hanging on by my fingernails.
Your fingernails. Yeah.
I'm a recovering drummer, so you know.
That's the second time you've used that joke in a week, and I
when
laugh.
you're in
both
recovery
damn
as a
times.
drummer, it's a lifestyle. You can't just stop being a drummer. You keep making yourself not be a drummer. Like you'll get there as a banjo player one day.
Yeah. Or a recovering banjo player.
Mm-hmm.
How
Now,
do
once
you
you're in, you can't get out.
Yeah, I was saying, how do you recover from that?
You know.
How many of you ever been to Terlingua, Texas? All right. Good for you. It really is one of my favorite places on the planet. First few times I went down there, I thought, damn, land's cheap down here. I could live down here. And then I realized it's good 9, 10, 11 hours from almost anywhere else where you can get a gig. Now, there are gigs down there. At the time, there were 4 regular gigs, and I would fill up a whole long weekend and then stay for the rest of the week and have a good time. Stay with friends who live there. And they're the type of people who can't live here. That's why they live there. There's too damn many of us here. Realizing that one time going home, I started this song. Once you had a home up in the heartland, built upon a slab of solid stone, safe within the sound of your own mother's voice, till you struck out on your own. First you tossed the map out of the window, then you crossed the far side of the hill. Then you lost the will to find your way back home. And now you never will. Out here on the border, cross that muddy water. Out here on the borderline. Out here on the border, ain't no law and order. Out here on the borderline. Well, you finally found your way out through the Badlands. Threw yourself across that muddy stream, where the questions are the answers that you've been searching for. In your darkest dreams, and you run along with one foot on the wrong side, the other one dragging in the mud. You got a smile upon your face as dark as outer space, and a fire in your blood. Out here on the border, cross that muddy water. Out here on the borderline. Out here on the border, ain't no law and order. Out here on the borderline. You learn to keep your weapon sharp and your eyes open wide. Watch your back and you watch the clouds above, running faster than the speed of the loneliness that feeds on the only life that you could ever love. Out here on the border, cross that muddy water. Out here on the borderline. Out here on the border, ain't no law and order. Out here on the borderline. Out here on the border, ain't no law and order. Out here on the borderline. Thank you. Goes out to all those folks who live down there.
That ought to be in a Western movie or something.
Yes.
Well, I knew you'd see it that way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I can just see.
Let me know which one.
Well, yeah.
I don't whistle real well.
We'll find somebody. There are people that can do that. That'd be a weird gig if every day it's like, I can be there in 30 minutes. You show up and just whistle for hours.
It would be a weird. I'm thinking about it.
You couldn't eat crackers.
No. I wonder if wine's good for it or not.
Keep drinking. We'll find out here in a little bit. So, I've had the good fortune to work with John Oates a few times on some projects, and this is a song he helped me arrange. I wrote it, sat down at a table at his house outside Aspen, and he said, "Sing me some songs," which was kind of an intimidating thing since he'd worked with a lot of really good singers. But he liked this one and helped me arrange it for an album we did called The Head and Heart. It's called The Edge of the World. At first she seems a little broken, a certain sadness in her eyes. deep and dark just like the ocean, frightened like a bird about to fly. But she believes in better angels and better times to come, that we all may be redeemed one day, no matter what we've done. Half the time she's a woman, half the time a little girl. Take her hand, give her half a chance, she'll take you to the edge of the world. She'll take you to the edge of the world. Well, her passion may consume you. You're standing too close to her fire. Be ready to let go of all that you have known. Be ready to walk high on her wire. 'Cause half the time she's a woman, half the time a little girl. Take her hand, give her half a chance, she'll take you to the edge of the world. She'll take you to the edge of the world. Is she an angel passing through this troubled life on weary wings against the wind? Nobody knows. But she believes in magic and all that it can do. She'll make you believe in it too. She believes in better angels, better times to come, that we all may be redeemed one day, no matter what we've done. 'Cause half the time she's a woman, half the time a little girl. Take her hand, give her half a chance, she'll take you to the edge of the world. She'll take you to the edge of the world.
I'd have picked that one too.
Do what?
I would have picked that one too.
You think?
Yeah,
Well, that was...
I know.
He said, sing something. I went, okay. Is there any way I could I forgot to get water. Is there any way I could get just a little glass? I don't need ice or anything. Just look at Sean jumping up there. What a guy. Thank you, Sean. I've got friends over in England, and they were all going on last year about Paul McCartney's 2.5-hour set at Glastonbury where he didn't take a drink of water for 2.5 hours. And I'm thinking maybe he's just like me. Thank you very much. Maybe he just forgets.
Good, thank you.
He's all red wine all the time. Yeah. I'll start a song and I'll think, boy, I really meant to take a drink of water. This is a tale about the dog catching the car. Well, I carried that torch until it burned me up. Then I burned you with it too. Didn't know the price would be so high, just to make a dream come true. The laws of attraction, the gravity and time mislead the heart and the head. make it hard to see the trouble that we're in. Till it's too late, bad blood has been shed, but across my heart, my love was true. You were wrong about me, I was right about you, baby. Across my heart, but you saw right through. I guess you know by now, my favorite color must be blue. It seems the more we talk, the less we know. All my perfect phrases fly away. No words of wisdom ever do this justice. Sometimes there's nothing left to say. But across my heart, my love was true. You were wrong about me, I was right about you, baby. Across my heart, but you saw right through. I guess you know by now, my favorite color must be bluer than the ocean or the skies of Santa Fe. The eyes that see the darkest heart, they had to look away. Cross my heart, but you saw right through. I guess you know by now, my favorite color must be blue. My favorite color must be blue. My favorite color must be blue. Hey.
He's got blue on.
I do.
I noticed that. Notice anything different about what I'm wearing?
No.
I got on my Portland shoes now. These are made by Portland leather right here. These are my
Those
Portland.
do look quite. They look very comfortable.
They're very comfortable and very high quality. Portland leather.
Did you get a special endorsement deal with them or anything?
I'm working on it.
Okay. Sounds like it.
My daughter-in-law is the COO of it.
Oh, well.
They are really, traveling around. I usually wear my my black cowboy boots, but
Those look comfortable.
let's tune it, Ken. While I'm tuning, I'd like to thank Artichoke Music here
Indeed.
in.
We meant to bring a lot more people. Of course, you always mean to bring a lot more people.
And all the volunteers who do something here, and the sound is always top notch. Gary Furlow always takes real good care of you. And Gary, I will get back to my classes working with you as soon as I can, because I know you need breaks in this. So these next two songs I'm going to present in two songs. Some people say two songs. My Philosophy of Life in two songs. Dos. And it does sort of feature one of the great themes in art, which I've studied way too much of. They usually feature the ideas of the sacred versus the profane. And which do you want first, sacred or profane?
Oh, let's go profane.
All right, we'll go profane. Good, because I'm in that kind of tuning. We didn't practice that. I just set him up, and he walked right through it just like he was supposed to.
We've worked together for weeks. 2 weeks.
So I was studying Roger Miller and his songs, and particularly his phrasing when I started writing this, because I wanted to do something I thought was sort of Millerish. But I also started, the first line in this song is a paraphrase from one of my favorite Molly Ivins sayings. And if you don't know who Molly Ivins is, please look her up. We no longer have her around, but she had a regular column called "She Can't Say That, Can't She?" And she would. So goes out to Roger and Molly. You gotta get a little messy to get the most out of life. Whether making love or cooking up a barbecue, gotta lick your lips, lick hers too. To get the most out of life, you gotta get it all over you. Gotta go outside and break a sweat, walk barefoot, get your feet wet. Smell the rain and the bacon and the coffee brewing. Gotta stub your toes, skin your knees, lose your way, lose your keys. Taste your tears and the tears of your loved ones too. Gotta get a little messy to get the most out of life. Whether making love or cooking up a barbecue, lick your fingers, go on, lick hers too. To get the most out of life, you gotta get it all over you. Gotta fall in love more than once, bust your ass more than twice. Gotta find a good friend, 2 or 3 or 4. Gotta hook a fine bass, 5 or 6 pounds or more. Then you give it a kiss, throw it back in the water. Take a picture if you can and let the world know that you caught her. Then sit on the bank and sip a beer. Thank you, lucky stars, you're still here. But don't forget to brush off your muddy butt before you get back into your truck. Yeah, baby, that's messy. I clean it up, gotta go fishing one more time. You gotta fall in love more than once, bust your ass more than twice. Gotta lose a good friend, 2 or 3 or 4. Gotta miss that big old bass, 14 pounds or more. Gotta get a little messy, get the most out of life. Whether making love or cooking up a barbecue, lick your lips, woo-hoo-hoo. To get the most out of life, you gotta get it all over you. Yeah, get the most out of life, just get it all over you. Get the most out of life, you gotta get it all over you. Thank you very much. That was one of my fire pit songs. This is the first time I haven't had a fire pit in my yard in probably about 30 years now.
Can't have one?
I'll work on it, but a much smaller one than.
Yeah.
Fire danger here is much more of a problem than in Houston, Texas. So
Somebody asked me why I didn't do a fire pit like up at my house where I live in Colorado. So I don't want to be the guy that burns down the Grand Mesa.
exactly it.
They'll say, you know, he was well liked right up until that.
Yeah.
He burned down 800 square miles of cedars and pines.
Who was it, Thoreau, who burned down a large forest
that
area?
right?
Yeah, read
That's
that.
irony is what that
It
is.
is.
Yes.
Yeah. The things you learn if you go to school too damn
I
much.
had no idea. That's great.
Oh, gosh. So, philosophy in life. That was the profane. Here's the sacred. And I will preface it with, you probably already understand that I like to fish. And I learned that from my daddy. And And I was in my mid-30s before I realized what a great fisherman my dad was. And it wasn't that he didn't go fishing, but he took us fishing. And I say us, I mean me, my brother, my sister, my cousins, our friends. He took us all fishing, and he was a teacher. And he taught us what fishing was all about. And catching is just a little small part of what fishing is all about. And he taught us how to appreciate getting out in the different areas that we were getting out, whether you were in a boat or you just walking a stream. And I taught us how to talk, think like a fish in a particular body of water. And just so many things that I learned from my dad about fishing. But I just didn't think of my dad as a great fisherman until I went wade fishing with him once down in the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And I got to sit on the seawall, watch him fish for about 20 minutes. And when I finally got out there with him, he asked me, he said, where you been? What took you so long? I said, well, one of these days I'll try to tell you, Dad. Now in the mirror of my mind, I see my father cast his line, silhouetted in the rising sun. A single dancer in the light, a simple melody in flight. The song begins as the dance is done. Cast your trouble upon the waters, let them flow into the sea. Live your life as if this morning was all the sunlight you'll ever see. When wrestling demons in the night, should I run or should I fight? Am I forgiven for the things I've done? In the quiet thunder of the dawn, I know the memory and the song, Dad and the ocean, dancing as one. Cast your trouble upon the waters, let them flow into the sea. Live your life as if this morning was all the sunlight you'll ever see. David Starr on guitar. And as I ponder these simple graces, I find a peace I can embrace. Cast your troubles upon the water, live your life as if this morning was all the sunlight you'll ever see. That was my daddy.
Nice. We doing 2 sets? 1 set? What are we doing?
Come on now, 2 sets. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Just trying to keep track of. This next song I wrote with my friend Irene Kelly down in Nashville. She's a bluegrass artist and a good country songwriter as well. And we were at my friend Craig Shelburne and I, he was working with me as a publicist at the time. And we went to this thing on a Saturday at around noon in Nashville where they would bus a lot of people in who might have been drinking since, let's say, 10 a.m. You know what that can be like. You're in a pretty good mood by noon. And they would bring them into a place about this big or a little bigger, and they had couches and big easy chairs and stuff. And the whole thing was they would have some songwriters up here, much like this, but there were 4 of them. And they'd all had hit songs of some, magnitude. And the idea was that they would do a thing like we're doing, and you'd go in and say, Nashville hit songwriters. And so as we were waiting for that to happen one day, Craig and I were going to watch this thing because they were going to have me play at it. And why I didn't is another story. But we're sitting there, and Craig says, what are you doing tomorrow? And I said, I'm going to write with Irene Kelly. And he went, what are you going to write about? I said, I don't know. He said, well, don't give me hope. I said, what? He said, well, don't give me hope, okay? I went, sure. What he meant was, don't write some happy-ass song with hope in it, And I said, okay, sure. So, whatever. So we watched the show, and it was fun, and I said goodbye. And I went to Irene's house the next day, and as is often her way, she had some cantaloupe cut up in a little bowl and some coffee made and our legal pads out. We're going to sit and write at her kitchen table. And she said, you got any ideas? And I said, well, I'll tell you what happened yesterday. And I told her that little story, and she said, that's a great title. So we proceeded to use the... See, if people say stuff to you as a songwriter, it's fair game, right? Yep. So...
Yep.
Evelyn knows that, so... Anyway, this is called Don't Give Me Hope. And for me, it became... I think for Irene, it was about one kind of situation. And for me, it was about another one of being in a situation with somebody who had an addiction when I didn't. And it was an untenable situation. Well, you say that you love me, you don't want to hurt me. I know you believe that it's real. But if you should ask me what I really need, well, I'll tell you just how I feel. The damage is done, nobody won. It's time that we both face the facts. And those baby blue eyes and pretty words won't bring me back. Don't give me hope, 'cause I'll just hang on to your promises pulling me back to the past when I should move on. Hung up on you, and I just need the truth. That's all. I got just enough rope to pull myself out. Don't give me hope. Well, don't say you'll be different, 'cause you can't be different. Believe me, baby, I know we want what we can't have. Stubborn as I am, I can tell when it's time to let go. And there's no denying these demons you're fighting may always be there in your way. But I'm fighting them too each time you ask me to stay. don't give me hope, 'cause I'll just hang on to your promises, pulling me back to the past when I should move on. I hung up on you, and I just need the truth. That's all I got, just enough rope to pull myself out. Don't give me hope. So tell me one good lie. Say you never loved me. That'll make it so easy to tell you goodbye. But don't give me hope, 'cause I'll just hang on to your promises, pulling me back to the past when I should move on. I hung up on you, and I just need the truth. That's all I got, just enough rope to pull myself out. Don't give me hope. Got just enough rope to pull myself out. Don't give me hope. No, don't give me hope. Thank you. Gary, I'm going to switch guitars for this one to see how that works. Huh? All right. I just like to warn a man what's coming at him, you know. So, sitting down at my guitar store one morning about.
You got to say sitting up here. You can say.
I know.
You can say sitting.
I grew up in Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, I know you.
Catches up with me from time to time. As I was saying, I was sitting in my store one morning about 6:45. I go into town early. It's about 7 miles to my store from the house. And I like to sit in there and commune with the guitar, sit in here in the dark kind of like this and just look at him and talk to him. And I noticed there was a fella sitting on the sidewalk after I'd come in. He sat out on a bench, and he was romancing a cigarette somehow. He was taking it all apart and reconstructing it somehow. And I never smoked, so I don't know what he was up to. But I'd never seen him before, and I have not seen him since. And in a small town, you notice that. You know, people kind of drift through. And I thought, I wonder what his story is. And then I thought, well, David, you're a songwriter. Write his story. But he looked like somebody had been through a lot, and maybe had not many options before him. Well, he twisted that brown filter off his cigarette. Then he lit the ragged end and closed his eyes. He whispered something about a girl from Coffeyville with a broken heart and a tattoo on her thigh. It was a long time gone and another life ago, when bitter wind tore halls and childish dreams. See, sometimes circumstance lays waste to best laid plans, and it's years before we find out what it means. He said, when you're dealing other people's demons, you will more than likely die alone. The price I paid just waiting for the other foot to fall has cost me any chance of going home. Beautiful fiddle solo on the record. If you can just imagine that. That little dog became a proxy for forgiveness, filling in the blanks on quiet nights, never asking more than for companionship and affection, and to never leave her side. And now she's gone from here, and nothing feels the same. And all of the forgiveness in the world can't fill these empty rooms, or kill these restless ghosts, or light these lonely halls where they sway and swirl. He said, when you deal in other people's demons, you will more than likely die alone. The price I paid just waiting for the other foot to fall has cost me any chance of going home. The price I paid just waiting for the other foot to fall has cost me any chance of going home. It's cost me any chance of going home. Thank you.
David Starr. Tell you what, Dave, I'm going to do one song, and then we'll take a break.
Let's do that.
And then we'll take a short break. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I know.
You're not allowed to leave. That's for damn sure.
No.
No.
And we both have product back there.
It'd help if you drank quite a bit. Here, the bar's open. Certainly a welcome. Huh? It's not open bar, but the bar is open. Those are two different things. I grew up in bars. I learned the difference early on. I used to go on when my dad would say, "Did you make any money last night?" I go, "Well, we had this bar tab. They paid us $200, but the bar tab was $225. So I guess we came out about right." Economics. Who needs it?
By the way, you had me in that song with the girl from Coffeyville. How many of you have ever been to Coffeyville, Kansas? And I've been there a lot. And the reason is there's an odd program there, and they started back up again, where you hang around during the day for a week in Coffeyville, Kansas, and do a program for the local community college and then one of the other community centers. And then you do an entire day, 4 shows back to back at the local high school on another day. And then you do the senior centers. There's a whole lot of senior centers there. And you spend basically, I think it's 4 or 5 days, depending upon how much.
It's like a residency there.
The residency thing. And you do that. And you work real hard, and they pay you pretty well, and you move on. And I've done that 3 times, so I know Coffeyville, Kansas very well.
Well, oddly enough, I was playing down in around in Belton, Texas, at a sort of a house concert situation. There were people pretty close, and I did that song, and when I said "A Girl from Coffeyville," there was a guy right in the front row who became visibly uncomfortable and shifted around and looked at people next to him. And then I took a break in a little bit, and this woman came up and said, who do you know in Coffeyville? And I said, I don't know anyone in Coffeyville. I said, the whole thing's made up. She said, well, he's from there. And I went, okay. Yeah. A lot of people are. There was something struck a nerve because he was just sitting there, and all of a sudden he was like, oh, man. He must know something I don't.
Well, that's where the Dalton gang got caught. So
it didn't end well.
And it didn't end well. And the reason I know that is because I've had extra time to hang out in Coffeyville in between those shows.
I think Dana's done that deal there. I think Dana's done that.
Yeah. So this song started to be about a cool pop I took away from my little brother when we were kids. I'll end this set with something ridiculous. And he was 5, I was 8. That's a big difference. And I walked into the kitchen, and he was getting ready to eat this Cool Pop, and I just, give me that Cool Pop. Walked off eating it. My brother's 69 now, and he's still complaining about me taking away his Cool Pop when we were kids. Doesn't bother me. Best damn Cool Pop I ever had.
He really ought to let go of that.
He really should, but...
have you talked to him about holding on to resentments?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Yes, I'm his big brother. I work with those kind of things, you know. That's what it started to be about, but then this guy right here took over. And I let him take over. But I do get back to that Cool Pop. Here come old Razzmatazz. He don't like nothing but jazz. Always saying things like, yeah, crazy. He snap his finger bones. He play air slide trombone. His eyes are deep and dark and hazy. Razzmatazz, they call him Razzmatazz. The only name he has, he dressed real sweet. And if it don't swing, he don't sing, 'cause you gotta have a beat. Boom, chicka papa Razzmatazz. Now you picture Raz with sunglasses walking around singing. Slim by the wing on Joseph Way. Boom, shake a leg a boom, a dum, boom, boom, bow. Wow, that rhymes with wow, wow, and that rhymes with how. Here come old Razzmatazz. You don't like nothing but jazz. Girlfriend's name is Bebop, a Lubob, a Daisy. He go his way alone, ain't got no telephone. Always saying things like, yeah, crazy. Razzmatazz, they call him Razzmatazz. Only name he has, and he got big feet. It rhymes. Whoa, if it don't swing, don't mean a thing, 'cause you gotta have a to the fore. Razzmatazz, they call him Razzmatazz. He hails from Alcatraz. He don't eat meat. They rhyme too. And if it don't swing, ring-a-ding, ding-a-ding, gotta have a boom, jigga, boom, a jigga, Razzmatazz. Gotta have a wom, 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 wom. Gotta have a do-wag-a-doo, wag-a-doo, 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 wag-a-doo. Raz walk around saying things like, you know, life is like a Cool Pop. You remember your first Cool Pop? Man, I do. Patty Tate gave it to me. I was over visiting the Tate sisters, and there was Patty with a big old blue one in her hand. I said, "What's that, Patty?" She says, "That's a Cool Pop, Kenny." I said, "Can I have one?" She says, "Sure, Kenny." Little sister Donna gave that little sister a laugh, because little sisters knows things. Reached in that freezer, pulled out a big old ribbon, put it in my little hands. I had no idea what to do with that thing, but luckily my little sharp teeth cut through that plastic husk. Got myself my first taste and went, oh yeah. And I ripped that top off and took myself a proper bite, and then I took myself another proper bite, another bite, another bite. Man, I could not get enough of that Cool Pop. But finally, Just like all Cool Pops, all that was left in my little hands was that plastic husk. Just a little bit of juice down there in the bottom. Could have saved it, put it back in the freezer, but that ain't what life nor Cool Pop's about. Turn that thing upside down. Then there I was finally with that empty plastic husk in my hands. Big old red smile on my face. My tongue was red. Oh, that was fine. Yeah. Yeah, that was Cool Pop. And it gotta have a beat. Yeah. Crazy. Goes out to the memory of Ken Nordine. Look him up. David Starr, take a break.
Ken Gang.
So why don't I do another song and then you do two and we'll kind of get back in that rotation.
You're in charge.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I choose.
All right. Looks like we got about 40 minutes.
Say again?
About 40 minutes left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think this guitar's happy to be back up here.
Sounds good. That's a
I
great
think
old
it kind of got used to it.
61, right? That's a 61?
No, it's a 68. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had a 61 and I sold it a few years ago and I wish I hadn't.
I wouldn't mind having a 61. I just need one that's
Can you take pictures?
like this.
Of course you can take pictures.
So we're back at it. Anybody doesn't know where they are? Artichoke music? I always check. I play a lot of bars, you know. It's a good thing to ask. Anybody don't know who we are? Okay.
I feel like we're pretty close.
I'll tell you what. We did this in Cedar Edge. Let's do this in G.
Okay.
So here's and we were talking briefly about genres, and I've come to the point where I don't believe in genres. I just believe in different grooves and different chord progressions and the melodies that you throw on top of those and the lyrics that you imbibe those melodies with. And I have a lot of heroes. And I believe in having a lot of heroes. So what I'm going to do with this next song is I'm going to start with my song, and then I'm going to insert a song that was written by not one, not two, but three of my heroes. And if you can tell me, without looking it up, but you keep your phones down, who all three of those heroes were, I'll give you 2 free CDs. Okay? Deal? No, these are people I study. Yeah, these will be people I study. No, the song I'm going to sing was finally finished in 1952. So, but I'm going to start with my song and then insert this other song. Kind of shows you where I get these things. I have no problems letting people know that I constantly steal moves from great songwriters, because that's what we all do, and that's what they did. Key of G, this is mine. Yeah, it might have been the night, might have been the moon, might have been the sight of other lovers in the room, might have been my imagination, but didn't we just fall in love? Could have been a sigh, could have been a song, could have been the wine to help the mood along. Could have been the combination. Didn't we just fall in love? Unless it's just some little thing I missed. Best guess it must have been the first time we kissed, with so much sweet temptation to fall in love. I should have seen it coming, should have smelled perfume, should have heard the humming, bees around the bloom, should have known that old sensation. Didn't we just fall in love? Let's hear it for David Starr on guitar. Here's that song, cigarette holder, which wigs me over her shoulder. She digs me out catting that satin dog. Baby, shall we go out skipping? Careful, amigo, you're slipping. Speaks Latin, that satin dog. She's nobody's fool, so I'm playing it cool as can be. I'll give it a whirl, but I ain't for no girl catching me. Skipperoonie telephone number, well, you know, doing my rumba with you know and that satin dog. Think about it. Anybody got it? What? Who now? Ellington's one of them. Ellington's right in the middle of this song. Who started about half of what we think of Ellington's songs, if you know anything about Duke? Ever hear Billy Strayhorn? Billy Strayhorn was Ellington's right-hand man, but he was not the type of person who liked to let himself be known. But about half of the things we think of Ellington songs are started by Strayhorn. So Strayhorn started this song and brought it to his boss, Ellington. They made an orchestral arrangement of it. And they thought, man, we made money out of this. This is a song. Let's get somebody to write lyrics. Got Johnny Mercer to write these lyrics. She's nobody's fool, so I'm playing it cool as can be. I'll give it a whirl, but I ain't for no girl catching me. Used to say this in 1952. Skipperoonie telephone number, well, you know, doing my rumba with you know and that my satin dog. Back to my song. Unless it's just some little thing I miss. Best guess it must have been the first time we kiss with so much sweet temptation to fall in love. I should have seen it coming, should have smelled perfume, should have heard the humming of bees around the bloom, should have known that old sensation. Didn't we just fall in love? Didn't we just fall in love? Didn't we just fall in love? Thank you very much. David Starr on guitar.
So how long did it take him to write that song ultimately? I mean, it was written over a period of years. Is that?
No, that one. Me?
No, the one that
version, or them.
Strayhorn and Ellington.
You know, it took. I don't know how long it took for Strayhorn to get what he was doing, because he hit out a lot and did his thing, and then he'd take these things that he thought were tune worthy and brought them to Ellington. So I'm not sure how long it took Strayhorn, but I'm sure Duke jumped onto it right away. And he was a very, very efficient man going after things and putting together these arrangements. He was real efficient. He was really cracked the whip with all of his musicians. And
See, I learned something when I work with this guy. It's great. So if you were to wander out there and look at the merchandise area, there's a book out there with my CDs. And the quick story about that book is that my grandfather was an author when I was young, and I didn't read his books because I was busy being a kid, and it didn't matter to me that he did that, because I did other things with him. He taught me to ride horses and do all this other stuff. Anyway, he died the year after that book came out, and it never really went into wide circulation, because he used to sell his books pretty much the way we're selling CDs. He'd set up at a book fair or a library day or whatever, and he would have a little card table and sell his books. Fast forward to just a few years ago, I bought up all of them I could find on Amazon, and that was about 10 or 12 of them. And some had library cards still in them he had autographed them, you know, and I remember going to craft fairs and selling those books with him. Anyway, I read the book finally, and I was taken by the people and the places and the circumstances. And so I gave a copy to my friend John Oates, and I said, please read that and call me when you have time. So he called and he said, what do you want to do? I love the book. I said, I'd like to give a copy to a bunch of songwriter friends, and then everybody will read it, contribute song material, and then and he finished the sentence, he said, then we'll make an album. And I went, yes. He said, can I produce it? And I went, yes. That was my, yeah. That's how I remembered it anyway. But we had worked together on another project, and he had always said, I will do another project, but only if it's something kind of unique and special, and not just making a record to be making one, you know. And it turned out to be a beautiful record, a beautiful experience. We got the book reprinted. We got new artwork for the book. Everybody contributed these songs. It's a beautiful record, vinyl, the whole thing, Barnes & Noble. We were ready to go, and then the pandemic hit. It went off a cliff. So still my favorite thing I've done to date. This is the title cut. I wrote this with Dana Cooper. It's called Beauty and Ruin. I traveled far through the lonely wood, crawled when I had to, ran when I could. No way to know what I would find. Beauty and ruin at the end of the line. This crooked road that I wound up on led me to you, and now you're gone. Our sky of blue turned cold and gray. Beauty and day. Beauty in the sinking sun, the union of two lonely ones together in the dark. Ruin in the breaking dawn, unforgiving light falls on two hearts torn apart. Heed the story in a face grown old. See the faded glory of a dying rose. Savor the sweet and bitter wine. Beauty and ruin, I was yours and you were mine. We were like wisps in the winds of chance. We'd fall and twist, we'd spin and dance. You spoke to me in words that are right. Beauty and ruin forever entwined. Beauty and ruin at the end of the line.
Good stuff.
Thank you. You know, Dana had agreed to read the book, and he read the book, and he said, I wanted to be on the project, but weeks went by, and we didn't have a title or anything. And one day I was looking at his Facebook post, and he was down in New Mexico somewhere, and he was posting all these cool pictures like he does when he's out on the road, and he posted a picture, and it said, so much beauty and ruin out here. And I texted him, that's it, right there. That's it. The book is called Of What Was, Nothing Is Left. In fact, let's just do that, because that was going to be the title cut. And we changed it because this was too long a title, A. And the name, and the word beauty and, or the words beauty and ruin sort of summed it up. But this song is sort of about, I would say it's about the impermanence of things in this world and lost innocence all at the same time. I wrote this with Oates. This house was a home when you came along. There was rhyme, there was reason, a place I belong. I knew just where I stood, those golden days were my own. Safe in the tall grass of the innocent seeds I had sown. Everything changed the day you crashed into my world. On a dust devil wind, force of intention unfurled. My innocence shattered, my comfort and plans pushed aside. I let go of the reins, only long for the ride. Well, did you come here to teach me? Did you come here to learn? Did you set me on fire just to watch the place burn? Will you tell me it's all for the best? What was, nothing is left. Oh, the want of a woman, the distraction of many a man. Is she angel or savior, or a spirit dismayed of the plans? You broke all of the rules and all the good hearts in your way. I guess I shouldn't blame you for the part that you thought you had to play. Well, did you come here to teach me? Did you come here to learn? Did you set me on fire just to watch the place burn? Will you tell me it's all for the best? But what was, nothing is left. Oh, the call of the wild mother and child, nothing could stand in your way. No out tomorrow for all of the sorrow that will follow you all of your days. What's done is done. We can't live in the past. To hold back the sand on this soil is just too much to ask. These winds are relentless, demanding we change, blowing us on to our destiny, no matter the pain. Or did you come here to teach me? Did you come here to learn? Did you set me on fire just to watch the place burn? Will you tell me it's all for the best? What was, nothing is left. Hey, nothing is left. Did you come here to teach me? Did you come here to learn? Did you set me on fire just to watch the boy burn? Now nothing is left. Now nothing is left. Now nothing is left. It's not a particularly happy book, by the way. Although the very last page is very hopeful. I keep thinking maybe he had one more book in him. You know, maybe he's going to take those characters and go forward.
He's going to give you hope.
He did, yes. The moral to the whole thing is talk to people while they're alive about what they do, because I didn't do that.
Yeah.
And it's,
All right, now I know what I'm going to do. This is a song about one of my heroes who was also a friend. I mean, if you knew Bill Staines, or knew who Bill Staines was. Yes. That doesn't surprise me. Bill was one of the true troubadours. That's a fun thing to say, true troubadours. Don't say that in front of a mirror. But he was one of the true troubadours all over this country, and I met him about mid-'80s in Colorado. Next time I saw him was 2 different places in upstate New York. By that time, he was asking me, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Well, I live here now." And that continued through Texas. And the last time I saw Bill, my friend Karen Mall and I were touring, and we were in Columbia, Missouri, and we were going to play on the other side of the river the night before, but Bill Staines was playing that afternoon, and we were both sitting there in front as he came on stage, and he's looking. He knew both of us. He's, "What are you doing here?" But had several good conversations with him about our heroes and about songwriting, and one of them while we were in Kerrville, spawned this song. We were talking about different patterns, and this song right here is written on a very, very common pattern. It's kind of a form of iambic quatrameter, and there are a gazillion songs that are built on this pattern. And if you wonder why I talk about these things so much and I sound like a teacher, it's because I am, and I teach here. And I'll start up again Thursday nights in September, and I'll give you an entire semester if you want to stick with me and pay for it that whole time. But these are theme specific, and you'll hear this, if you do stick with me, you'll hear this one at least once, maybe twice. But I said one of our common heroes was Gordon Lightfoot, and we were talking about this pattern that he used quite often, and that we both used quite often. He said, "I'm going to use that pattern, and I'm going to write it about you, Bill." You greet the morning with a smile, squint your eyes against the sun. Could have stuck around a while. That old engine needs to run. Last night the songs rang out so true. You wish the night would never end. Today you'll travel somewhere new. Tomorrow sing them all again. You're a dry land sailor tossed on this ocean. You've taken a notion to roam. Dry land sailor lost in the motion of making this ocean your home. A sailor on dry land, out on a rolling river road. A ready smile and a steady hand, a hungry heart and a heavy load. Born underneath a wandering star, borne along by a restless wind. No wondering why, no guess how far, no thoughts of where the journey ends. You're a dry land sailor tossed on this ocean. You've taken a notion to roam. Dry land sailor lost in the motion of making this ocean your home. Panorama of the road unfolds before your wondering eyes. farmer's fields all plowed and sowed. The little towns, the western skies, the mountain snows, the southern coast, the flood of spring, the turn of fall. Ask you which you favor most. Tell the truth, you love them all. You're a dry land sailor tossed on this ocean. You've taken a notion to roam. Dry land sailor lost in the motion of making this ocean your home. Dry land sailor tossed on this ocean. You've taken a notion to roam. Dry land sailor lost in the motion of making this ocean your home. Welcome home. Look him up, Bill Staines, if you have never heard him. We lost Bill, about 3 years ago?
I don't know.
I can still see his face. What are you doing here? Here's a song I never would have written without studying another one of my heroes who's still with us. And he'll be coming here to the Artichoke, I think, late August or early September. Check him out, Jack Williams. Spread the word. Come see this guy. I first met Jack. He was a real good friend of Mickey Newberry's. And Mickey's last tour, Jack brought him to Kerrville. And I got to hear Mickey live like that. And then meet Jack, and he's been a dear friend and a mentor ever since. Sunset on the river, water's all aglow. Been sitting on this bank all day, watching it flow. I got a line out in the channel, but I stopped fishing long ago. I'm just sitting, sipping whiskey real slow. Life's too short for bad whiskey. Drink good whiskey. There's a gator on the surface, big old catfish in his mouth. As he takes it to the bottom, my heart is sinking south. Drag me down where I don't want to go. How could she leave me so low? It's been a catfish morning, a catfish afternoon. Tonight there'll be a catfish moon. Catfish moon, waltzing on the water. Catfish moon, lazy little daughter of the sun, who's always rolling around too soon. David Starr on guitar. Catfish moon waltzing on the water. Catfish moon, lazy little daughter of the sun, who's always rolling around too soon. Funny how my rambling brought me right back to the spot where the fishing and the whiskey and the wind were so damn hot. We'd take a boat out on the river, throw a blanket on the bow, and make love beneath the catfish moon. Sing it with me. Catfish moon, waltzing on the water. Catfish moon, lazy little daughter of the sun, who's always rolling round too soon. It's been a catfish morning, a catfish afternoon. Tonight there'll be a catfish moon.
So good the police are coming.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
I love that.
Why don't you sing us out?
All right.
Just one more.
We'll do one more here for you.
Thank y'all for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And several things. Please come back to the Artichoke. Those are your music. Last Wednesday of every month, there's an open mic here. And, please check out all the other things that are going on. Once again, when Jack Williams comes, look it up. It's on the schedule. Come and see him. He's the best.
He's very good.
And I don't know how long Jack's going to be. I think he's 79 now, so he's...
Doesn't seem that old anymore, does it?
Mm-mm. No, it doesn't.
He's thinking, hell off, 79. Well, that's... Do a traveling song. My name's David Starr. Thanks to Ken Gaines for having me. Thanks for the folks at the Artichoke. Traveling song called Good Is Gone. From the ragged edge of losing you, I fell back to earth. Facing my worst fears, living in a world of hurt. There was nothing on a far horizon, everything at my feet. No way to go but up, no easy retreat. Too much time in a rearview mirror, I gotta keep moving on. It's calling my name but I can't hear her. Color me good is gone. All the splintered conversations that pass for truth these days. But chasing our worst instincts instead of choosing the words we say. There's trouble on the far horizon, not the only one that think it's time for me to cut and run. Yeah. Cut and run. Too much time in a rearview mirror. I gotta keep moving on. Calling my name, but I can't hear her. Yeah, yeah. Color me good is gone. Yeah, color me good is gone. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, color me good is gone, gone. Thank you, everybody.
David Starr.
Ken Gaines, thank you so much. Drive
Appreciate
careful.
it.
Let's do it again sometime. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool, Pop.
Yeah, cool, Pop.